Welcome to the first webinar of the Collaborative Community of Housing Experts. My name is Abderrahim Kairi, and I'm joined by Sébastien Garnier, who is Innovation and Project Manager. We will start with the presentation of HOUSEFUL project and by Sergio Martinez and Daniela Checa. The second presentation will be of HOUSEFUL Technologies by Dolores Hidalgo. And after we have the questions and the answer on the first two presentations, and we move on the next steps. So I will just suggest everybody who is not presenting to switch off the microphone so we can hear the presenter very well. So now I give the floor to Sergio Martinez to present us HOUSEFUL.
Hello, thank you very much, Abderrahim, for this really kindly introduction. And well, with me, as you said, there is Daniel Checa, who is also the co-coordinator of the project with us, and also with Xavier Ponte, who is the project manager. We are like the whole group, the core lead team working in this project, but behind us there are other 5 to 6 people working also at the same time. Okay, well, I will share the screen now. Okay, can you see it? Is okay? Okay. I hope everything is okay. Okay, well, the content of the presentation is this. We will introduce a general project information. We will continue with the background of the project. We will explain the main goal and the scope of the project. We will briefly introduce the HOUSEFUL solutions and services that they will be explained in more detail by Cartier. And finally, we will try to tell you in few lines the work package structure and also the task review. Okay, well, I will try to move the screen because some messages are okay. Well, the HOUSEFUL project was presented as an idea, as a proposal in the topic of the Horizon 2020 in 2017, nearly 2 years more or less. And the topic is called, or was called, Systemic and Innovative Approaches for the Circular Economy, Large-Scale Demonstration Project. The project has more than 4.5 years of time duration. Nowadays today we are in the month 17. Well, we will prepare the consortium during these few months the first progress report, reporting the work done during the first reporting period. Because of the long time duration, the project is divided into 3 parts. Now we will report the first part. The consortium is made of 16 partners from 8 countries. The most number of partners comes from Spain, like Cartier, EDP, TEC, Aiguasol, Alvitat, and WMB. There's another country that has more partners or concentrates the largest amount of partners, that is Kenya Nova, New Zealand, and well, other partners from around Europe are like Visum, Housing Europe, GI, Fondazione Icons, and also we have the participation of Israel, that is Home Biogas, that works with composting. Well, the budget of the project has more than 8 million euros. One moment. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. Well, as you know, you as a representative of the housing sector, you know that the housing is not so efficient in terms of sustainability. Some numbers, official numbers, give some description of these main problems, such as, for example, that 10 to 50% of construction materials are usually waste during this construction phase. 50% of dwellers, residential dwellers, report that lives in too much space. There are some inefficiencies in energy consumption. There's a high consumption of electricity depending on the type of the weather location in Europe, but the average consumption is very high. The same for food waste that is also produced in high quantities per person in years and is usually externally managed. Well, for gray water and black water, the amount of this waste is also very high. Well, some statistics shows that, well, there's a range from 80 to 150 liters per day and per capita, sorry. And also, well, depending on the country, the numbers range, but the average is that the 54% of demolition waste is usually landfill. Well, this is like big numbers about the inefficiency. Well, these negative environmental impacts results from current take, make, and dispose consumption model. The building lifetime, as you know, covers a range from 40 to 60 years old. Years. So then we can think that not properly planned decision making taken place in a single moment of a building life cycle then can definitely affect the building functionality, the related housing practices, and the lifestyles of the dwellers. The transition from the linear to circular model has been made in some European projects, but this transition has not been made into all the different levels in the housing sector, considering the water, the energy, the materials, vectors, and also the different stages that covers a life cycle of the building. For that, HOUSEFUL offers an integrated solution that is called HOUSEFUL service, composed of 11 circular solutions co-created by the stakeholders in current housing value chain. Co-created or co-creation is a very important word in this project because the communication flow goes from one stakeholder to the other in both directions. Co-creation, I think that is the most important part of the project. The HOUSEFUL service aids to the circular management and efficient use of the different vectors such as waste and water, energy and materials for all the stages of the European buildings life cycle. Well, once these solutions are developed and are offered to the society as a service, these services will be offered or presented as an online software as a service, enabling the replication of these solutions offered to stakeholders as circular economy business opportunities. Okay, in order to show more details about this first part, icons or colleagues there is the work package leader of communication has prepared this project video that has 1 minute of time duration, and I think that will be a very good idea to show you this video. Okay, so let's see it.
Buildings are essential in our lives. They are the places where we live, work, and spend part of our free time. No wonder the housing sector generates 9% of Europe's GDP. However, it is absorbing 50% of Europe's extracted materials, 40% of its available energy, and 30% of its available water, in addition to producing 30% of our total waste and 35% of our greenhouse gas emissions. Radical actions are needed to preserve the environment by turning the current linear approach to a circular and sustainable one. The EU-funded HOUSEFUL project embraces this challenge by recovering food waste at home level, reducing waste destined to landfills, reusing rain, grey and black water, and fostering the adoption of renewable energy. Overall, this approach will decrease CO2 emissions by 60%. Imagine? No. By combining HOUSEFUL's 11 solutions, we'll have the chance to manage our materials, waste, water, and energy in buildings at a circular and holistic level. These will be tested in 4 demo sites, Vienna and nearby Barcelona, and will be adopted later in Europe and beyond to make the housing sector more sustainable, therefore protecting our environment. Keen to know more about HOUSEFUL? Visit houseful.eu.
Okay, fantastic. I love this video. So, well, the video also talk about the different demo sites, different locations where the HOUSEFUL services will be demonstrated. These are the 4 demo sites that were selected for the demonstration. The first one is located near Leitat facilities. Leitat is located in Terrassa near Barcelona. And this first building is well, an 8-floor building that has 2 homes per level, and each home has 100 square meters of surface. Next to the building, there's there's a school, and all the building will be refurbished from this September until 18 months in the future. I think that at the end of at the beginning of 2022. And well, all the building will be destined to social housing. Okay, the second building, well, is also located near the first one. It's located in Sant Quirze del Vallès. Is already used for the development of one European project that is for INEO. This project is well, focused on the energy efficiency of the building of part of this building. Then the other part of the building will be used for the demonstration of HOUSEFUL solutions, and also well, for those more important, for those solutions related with the water treatment and reuse. The third building is located in Austria, the south of Austria. It's called Cambium, and it's a military historical building. It has more than 5,000 square meters, and the building is co-owned by more than 35 owners. Well, HOUSEFUL solutions will be demonstrated in part of the building, even though an extrapolation of the results will be done or should be done for the rest of the building. And also the fourth demo is a new building that was recently constructed. This was built 2 years ago. And well, the second and the third building, well, will be, well, these are new buildings that different than the proposal phase because of technical and other reasons. We should or we needed to change these buildings, but now we are in the phase of final confirmation from the officer in order to develop the different tasks and the demonstration tasks in these buildings together with the other ones. The solutions, the overall solutions, will be demonstrated during from now, during the second year and the third year of the project. They will be evaluated, and well, together, and from this evaluation, these solutions will be finally developed or offered as a services, integrated in the software as a service, that is the SaaS, where the different stakeholders can take one service and contract at the end of the project. From your collaboration, we expect that we can find new demo buildings in order to extrapolate the results and do replication from the project results during the execution and after the end of the project. I have to say that, well, now we have some candidates for the replication, but, well, we have to wait a little bit for the results from the demonstration phase. That will come during the second, they mostly come during the second reporting period, the second and third year of the project. Now we can, if you want, we can explain you a little bit more about the solutions. And for that, we have here, one moment, I cannot change the, okay. So Daniel?
Yes, Sergio, as you said, I'm going to introduce you the different solutions and services planned for in this HOUSEFUL project. First of all, we're going to see the holistic solutions or schedules. There's a plan to set the software as a service to include all the solutions in a same tool and assess the circularity potential of our building. this is going to be after implement all the solutions and see how its circularity potential can be performed in the building. Then the first solution is the definition of a new method for the analysis of the building circularity. This means developing a new methodology to assess the circularity level of the building. And as you see, many partners are involved in order to co-create this methodology and perform it as a conjunction of all the partners. Then the second solution is the social engagement for co-creation. This solution includes 4 technical workshops, 2 training sessions, 4 study tours in the front runner buildings, the 4 one that have been selected for the HOUSEFUL project, and finally 12 co-creation workshops to develop more ideas to perform this social engagement for co-creation. Then in the material vector, we find the solution 3 that is the development of 4 material passport based on advanced 3D model. Tantu and ITEC will be involved in this solution. Tantu will provide information related to its professional software and master in order to perform the material passports, and ITEC will perform the BIM in order to set the 3D model of the front runner buildings. Then the solution 4 is the searching of local building materials to give an alternative building materials and reduce the material impact. For example, recycling dismantling materials and use it for new constructions. Then for the water vector,
yes, I can give you more details maybe because I'm more focused on that, and my team is also working on this technology. Well, there are 2 solutions behind the water services, the 5 and the 6. The difference is that, well, the first one, the wastewater is segregated in origin. So in the building we have the rainwater separated for the grey water, and also there's a third stream that is the black water. And also, well, the service 6, well, aims to treat the unsegregated water. That is, I think that the non-segregation of water in Europe is, I think, the most extended model. But well, the 2 solutions shares the nature-based solutions as a core technology, that it's a green wall or artificial wetline that aims at treating the wastewater using plants and the effect of the microorganisms in the rhizome area on the roof, on the soil. And well, once this water is treated, then ozone and ultraviolet will be used as desalination technologies. Okay, this treated water will be used or reused in the overall building. And also related with the waste, these are, I think, from my point of view, the really challenging solutions of the project, technical solutions of the project, because, for example, the first one, that is the S7A, is the anaerobic MBR. Anaerobic MBR is an innovation deal identified by the European Commission, and is a solution that is, well, is implemented at industrial scale, but has never implemented at building scale. For that, later we'll develop these solutions together with EDP, and this solution will be implemented in the demo 1 in Terrassa. This technology is based on the anaerobic digestion of black water together with bio waste in two different reactors. The first one will be focused on acidogenesis, and the second one in methanogenesis. Once this biological reaction is done, this state will be filtered by using membranes, and this membrane, the treated water will be ionized using also ozone and ultraviolet. Well, the second solution that is led by home biogas and Alchemia Nova is the dry anaerobic digestion. And well, this will treat the solid phase of the solid liquid separation in the buildings that has not the unsegregated water streams. And well, both solutions they will need the third part, the third pillar, that is the biogas cleaning, and which is led by Cartier. And well, this is a solution that, well, Cartier will give you more details about that, but the aim is to treat the biogas and then to valorize it according to the building needs. The second solution, that is solution 8, is a high quality fertilizer or compost at local origin. Together with home biogas and Alchemia Nova, we will produce compost and vermicompost at building scale. And finally, related to the waste, solution 9 is the optimal management of the waste at the end of the building life cycle. This solution aims at assessing the optimal waste to manage the waste of the building once this is dismantled, or well, is demolished.
Yes, this means the design of this assembly in order to reuse and, well, take a circular behavior of the materials in the end of life of the building. And then for the energy vector, we have the solution 10, that is the improvement of energy efficiency by active and passive solutions. Designing an efficient facades and roofs, and introducing elements like energy generation in the side of the building, and to compensate the non-renewable energy consumption, and contributing to reach nearly zero energy building. Finally, the last solution is to guarantee the energy saving production in buildings, and this is the performance of a new business model to guarantee the energy savings of these energy generation technologies. Then this is the structure of the project in work packages. The first one is the project management. We're leading it here in Leitat, and well, it gives us the baseline to follow all the work to be done in this project. The work package 2 defines the methodology for the evaluation of circularity in the housing sector. This means selecting the key performance indicators, as well it will be the guideline or the baseline to perform the software as a service, taking into consideration the different key performance indicator and how important are they in this software. Then the work package 4 is the more technical work package, in which all the solutions, or almost all the solutions that we have seen, are developed. And then these solutions have an impact, an environmental, economic, and social impact, and it will be assessed in the work package 5. From these 3 points of view, in order to give a complete impact assessment. And well, this work package just start now. In month 18, we are defining the plan, the assessment plan, and then we will start to work in this environmental, economic, and social impacts. Then the work package 6 is the household solutions, service, market policies, and exploitation, and it's led by LGI, and it will give us further guidelines to the exploitation of the project and see more about the solutions and how can we take profit of it. And finally, the communication and dissemination by icons, doing a great job, like you have seen, for example, the video, and also other dissemination material, and well, spreading the word of the HOUSEFUL project. Sorry. This is the work package structure. Now we are in.
Sorry, Daniel, is this the last slide?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So yeah, thank you. Okay, go ahead.
We are now in month 17, and well, as you see, the work package 1, the management takes all over the project, and work package 2 is now at the medium term, defining now the KPIs and seeing the methodology. For the work package 3, we and B have performed different questionnaires, and we are interviewed many stakeholders related to the building sector in order to give their feedback, which perceptions have they of the circularity in the building sector. And then for work package 4.
Yes, the work package 4 is the most technical part. Is led by Cartif, but well, in this work package, well, the different services will be demonstrated in the different buildings. Has different activities focus on the specifications, on the laboratory tests before the scale up, the implementation part, and well, the monitoring of the results. The work package 5 that is led by Leitat. Well, as Danny said,
we are defining now the assessment plan, and then with further outputs coming from the work package 4 and solutions results, we will perform the impact assessment.
The work package 6 is focused on the market study, and also the exploitation of the project, and also the work package 7 that covers the overall of the project. Well, they will give some deliverables related with the communication strategy.
And finally, as an output of this project, we expect to obtain a 30% reduction of waste destined to landfills, 50% improvement of non-primary energy consumption and energy efficiency by passive and active measures, a best selection of materials, a high part of recycling of rainwater, grey water, and black water for the production of biogas, the high quality compost for this state, and an alternative to the gas that is a CHP from biogas at home level.
Yes, and sorry for maybe the delay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for this presentation, Daniel and Sergio. So now that we are all connected, I will present very briefly who is in the call. So we have Magnus Ulaner from HSB, the Cooperative Housing Association, Ainoha Mata from the Catalan Energy Institute, Caroline Henrotai from Brussels Environment. I think she just left because she's busy with another meeting. Dolores Hidalgo from the Research Center Cartif, Sergio Martinez and Daniel Checa from the Technological Institute of Leitat, and from Housing Europe, Abderrahim Kairi and Michalis Goudis, and we will be joined by our communication director, Michalis Goudis, to explain us more about the communication side. So now I give the floor to the next presenter. So to Dolores Hidalgo. Please, the floor is yours.
Okay, good morning. I'm trying to share now the presentation. You forgot to present my colleague Juan Castro, that is together with me here.
Yes,
And
yeah, Juan Castro also, and Johannes Kisser from Algeria.
yes.
Thank you.
And well, we don't have too much to add because Leitat made a very good presentation of the project, and we wanted to well, this is a short presentation just to focus a bit more on the different technical solutions and the different solutions, not only technical but also not technical. Okay. So as Leitat mentioned before, we have 4 demos in the project, 4 buildings, different characteristics, different age, different location. So we are not only able to implement in the project the different solutions, but also to compare the performance of this solution in different environments. So this is another good point for the project. Because as you know, the weather, for example, in Austria is totally different to the weather we have in Spain and also in Barcelona, where the temperature is much, of course, is very, very different, for example, and other aspects. But the temperature is very important because we are going to carry out biological processes, and this is something important. So as I said before, we have 4 demos, and we have 11 solutions to test. We have in the first 3 demos, demo 1, demo 2, and demo 3, we are going to implement all kinds of solutions, different solutions in every demo, but solutions technical and not technical solutions. And the demo 4 will be more focused on non-technical solutions, more related with social behavior and co-creation activities. So the idea is of the whole project is to increase circularity in the building sector. We have a lot of points or possibilities to act because up to now this sector is totally linear. Resources are consumed but are not reused or valorized at all. So this is what we want to do in this project. So now I'm going to give the floor to my colleague Juan Castro, who will give in a more detail of the different solutions.
Hi everyone. I'm looking for the first of not technical solutions that is focusing on holistic vector that Leitat mentioned before. There are 3 solutions: software as a service, definition of a new method for analysis of building circularity, and social engagement for co-creation. The materials that are we will implement a circular approach in the use of and disposal of the construction materials that Leitat said before. And there's only 2 solutions: development of 4 material passports based on 3D model that is called BIM, and the solution 4 that is searching local building materials. In a technical solution, the first vector is water, that are based on nature-based solutions, and they are efficient treatment of reuse of rainwater and greywater that will be implemented in demo 1 and demo 2 that I later explain better. And the focus of the solution is to obtain a 90% over 90% of water reuse and a 95% of rainwater reuse in toilets and or irrigation of the gardening of the buildings. The solution 6 that will be implemented in the demo 3 includes the wastewater can be combined in a single pipe with kitchen street organic waste, And the liquid fraction will be treated in ether-based solution in indoor, face shade, and outdoor, and also an UV disinfection that will be obtaining over 90% of water use. Again, in toilets or irrigation for gardening. And the waste vector that is probably in which we are most focusing will have some solutions. The first one is the black water and bio-waste treatment for biogas production. We have the last change in this biogas production because CARTIP is going to upgrading this biogas to produce electricity or heat. This solution will be implemented in Demo 1 and Demo 3. They will obtain on over 90% of treated lake water reuse for toilet and fertigation, renewable energy from biogas, and compost at home level for use dealers and neighbors or use in public gardens. And the solution 8 that is a high quality fertilizer and compost of local origin will be implemented in Demo 1 and Demo 3. It's only a established black water that will be used as compost for local gardening. And the best service for this model is the process that will be collaborated with local and regional stakeholders and will be amplified the use of this state. The last vector is energy. That at European level we have a very high consumption of the available energy. So HOUSEFUL propose some solutions. The first one is to improve an energy efficient by active and passive solutions that will be implemented in Demo 1, Demo 2, and Demo 3. That is contributing to create nearly zero energy buildings, the NCIP, that are in common is now in the I don't know how to say is used nowadays. And this will be reduce the energy bill for the drillers and the neighbors of the building. And the solution 11 that will be guaranteed energy saving and production buildings that is focusing in the use of solar, thermal, and photovoltaic systems that will be implemented in Demo 1, 3, and 4. And now I have a little explanation of the technical solutions that will be implemented in each demo. The Demo 1 that I said before will have the nature-based solutions that pre-treated the rainwater that later will be hygienized by ozone and UV hygienization system and use it for the irrigation or in the toilets. The indoor green wall that will be have in this demo site is for treat the rainwater that is produced in its floors of the demo, and the bio-waste and black water will be mixed in a one pipe that conducts the mix to the NBR reactor that is developed by LATAT. And later we have we obtained three lines, one of biogas, another of digestate, and the treated water. The first one, the biogas, will be cleaned by us in a upgrading system. And later we have a micro CHP to burn this biogas, biomethane, because we are separating the CO2 and the methane in the biogas current. And I hope we can achieve electricity and heat for all the buildings. The digestate will be dehydrated and used as compost for gardening. and the treated water, as like rainwater, will be utilized for the irrigation of the gardens. In the demo 2, we have less technical solution than in demo 1, but will be pre-treat the rainwater with nature-based solutions. Later, this water is initiated with ozone and UV system, and there will be for the toilets each floors of the demo, and the grey water that will be treated by the green wall of nature-based solutions. And the last demo that have a big implementation of technical solutions will be treat the rainwater as the other demos, have a series organic waste and series kitchen waste from neighbors that will be de-staged in a reactor in anaerobic conditions that produce the biogas, and we will upgrade this biogas to biomethane that will be introduced in a micro CHP as in the demo 1, and we will produce electricity and heat for the demo. And in this demo, we have another technical solution that is the air treatment that we don't explain before, but this is implementation by the plants in the nature-based solutions. And the last one is the wastewater that we conducted to the dry liquid separator. The liquid will be initiated and used for irrigation, and the solid fraction will be to the biogas system. Anything more? Thank you for attending the meeting, and this is all from Katy's side.
Thank you, Dolores Hidalgo and Juan Castro. Now it's time to switch on your microphone because we will move to the Q&A session. So if you have questions on the first presentation or on the second one, please go ahead. So we'll take.
Do you have any questions, and particularly Magnus, or I know we are interested to hear your point of view. You know, since you are the external experts here. Do you have any questions?
Yes. Hi there. I'm Magnus Lanner here from Stockholm, Sweden, and HSB, which is Sweden's largest housing cooperative organization. I arrived just a little bit late, so I had just a overarching question, which is if you have gone into the steering group's mandate and what the steering group is about to discuss and do. But maybe you will come back to that. I have a question on, because one of the aspects here are, as I can see, renewable energy and energy efficiency. I think from my point of view, the important aspects of a circular building and construction sector and buildings as a product is the focus on information. What type of information do you have on the products, on the house, and so on, about the material who are in the building? And I think, as you presented, the focus on water, grey water management, and so on are also important focus. So from my point of view, I think energy efficiency and locally produced renewable energy are maybe a little bit less important in this aspect of a circular economy. even if they are very important for the reduction of CO2 emissions, of course. But when I think circularity, I think water and materials mainly, and of course waste. So yeah, that's some of the reflections I did in this first presentations. But thank you very much for them. They were really interesting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Magnus. So to come back to your first question, we will indeed finalize this webinar by explaining a little bit more what this collaborative community of housing experts is about and what the role of the steering group will be indeed. But to come back to the second part of your question, maybe I can ask Leitat or Katif to tell us. So why did you actually include this? You said something about it, the integrated approach, right? But you not only focus on waste, material, and water, but you decided to include energy efficiency as well. What's the idea behind that?
Well, Magnus, I agree with you that materials or water and other vectors and energy could take significant results in terms of circularity, but in this project we are assessing the building as a whole, and we think that in point of view of energy, all the materials related in passive solutions, for example, could take a significant importance in terms of selecting these materials and seeing if them have a significant results in terms of reducing the energy of the building. So we consider the materials in terms of circularity, but also how these materials can affect to the energy consumption of this energy, and finally assure or guarantee the energy reduction.
Yeah, thank you for that, Daniel. And do you want to add anything to that? Maybe Dolores?
Why not?
Okay, more or less the same than Daniel told you before, but I also think that all the aspects are very related. So when we cannot focus only in one vector or two vectors, because to give the whole to have the whole circularity in the building, energy is also very important. For example, when you manage the waste, you have the possibility to produce energy. It's a positive point of the process also. So the idea is to have all the aspects, all the vectors interrelated, and to have all the synergies, or to obtain all the synergies we can.
So thank you very much. Maybe I can go to Ainhoa.
Yes.
Could you first of all very briefly introduce yourself and then share with us what your point of view is about this energy aspect and as part of the circular economy, different solutions we have here?
I am the head of the building department here in MICAEN, the Institute of Energy of Catalonia, and I am architect. And I think that it's a very good approach that you do, thinking about water, waste, energy, and materials. And energy is also, I think it must be there in this approach, because the consumption of the energy has a lot of impact in the world, in the emissions. And we have to solve it also in the house, where we consume the 30% of the energy. It's up to 40% in Europe. And I think it's very important that you reduce the demand, the necessity of energy, improving the isolation of the housing, and also you want to produce the energy, perhaps with photovoltaic, I think that I heard, and with biogas. So it's also a circular approach to the energy, and I think that it's perfect. It could be even more abroad, and you could consider also the transport and that is related with the housing, with the people that live there, and how much is that impact. But I understand that there must be some limits, and I think it's very interesting the part of the passport of materials, and at the end we have all to consider how can we make a passport for the buildings, and it could be even broader, not only for materials but also for energy and all the other aspects. It's very positive. At the end, it's like to apply the environmental certifications like LEED or BREEAM, to apply them, and it's more non-private idea, because all the European projects must be used for more people. And the part of the dissemination is I think that it's very, very important, because there's a lot of European projects, and it's very difficult to not to end on only on a website. No? It's important to all the stakeholders can use them. I wanted to ask if the demo have just started the application of the solutions to the buildings.
Well, for those solutions that are focused, for example, in water and also in waste, they are developed at laboratory scale nowadays. And from these results, we will scale up the solutions. They will be integrated during the refurbishment phase. For example, the demo one it will be the overall building will be refurbished, but the consortium, the HOUSEFUL consortium, has worked with the owner, that is the Catalan Housing Agency, in order to integrate into the calendar from the builder, they integrate the different tasks for the demonstration of these technical solutions at the end or during the refurbishment works. And well, we hope that during the coming year, the next year, and the part of the other one, the different solutions will be demonstrated at the building scale, but always considering the laboratory phase that is being performed now.
Will we also?
Yes, and also for the only one thing to add, the related with the materials, different simulations has been done with different materials in order to know how these materials impact on the overall building, at the facade, on the roof, and these results are or were used for the final decision making in order to select the optimal material during the refurbishment. And also the procedure, that is also important. The procedure to integrate it and also to change the older one.
So, thank you very much, Sergio. I want to move on now because we have still a couple of minutes left, and I want to come back to the question of Magnus as well, more about the organization of the collaborative community of housing experts. So today was the first webinar for the steering group, which is, I recognize, still limited. So officially, Caroline is one of the three of you now that are one of the pioneers. But we hope that we can make the group a little bit bigger. And this kind of interaction we just had very briefly is exactly what we want to achieve. So first of all, you ask the questions, you put it into your own perspective, so it gives us a very useful feedback into the project to think a bit more about the different aspects and the relevance for you and the usefulness of the solutions. Just to explain the structure, the steering group will be the people that are involved, let's say, the most closely to the project, and we will organize these kind of webinars regularly, where we will, in an hour, and we will not ask too much of your precious time, of course, but in an hour or even less, update you about the developments in the project. But we will also want to make it interesting for you, so we can also invite external speakers, external experts, to share their view about circular economy in the residential sector. This was just a general introduction about HOUSEFUL. I think next time we will try to dive in one of the aspects that to really go in depth into one of the teams. We will maybe after this approach you again to see what are the aspects that you would like to know a little bit more about. So for the next webinar, this is the steering group, which is closed and on invitation only, but we are also making a larger, more open community of collaborative housing experts, which will interact online through online forum. So you will be invited to that also after this webinar. And so this is a way to keep in touch in between the different webinars and the meetings. And if you know anyone that wants to participate, or follow the project, please share the contacts with us. For the open community, where it's really passive, you can just look at what's going on there. Or if he has the expertise to participate in the steering group in a little bit more active role, like you had today, then also share their details with us, please, because there is room for a couple of more persons, and especially if they are from one of the other stakeholder categories. Caroline, who just left us, unfortunately, is, for instance, for the Brussels authority. So we have someone from a local government. We are still looking for people, for instance, in the construction sector and in the financial sector to take part in the steering group. I think we will close the meeting now. It's 11:01, so I want to keep the time here. And I want to thank all of you. I hope it was clear. I hope it gave you an introduction about the project, and I hope we can continue to work together in the future. So
yeah. So thank you. Now for the conclusion, we will ask Michalis just to tell us more about the next steps in terms of dissemination after this webinar. So thank you, Michalis, for joining us.
So just a minute from my side. Nice talking to you all. As you probably know already, the website housingevolutions.eu is online and will be widely disseminated over the coming weeks. The general idea is that this creates a pool of content, of best practices from the public, cooperative and social housing sector across Europe, and there is a particular segment dedicated to circular economy. This is going to be one of the first focus points of this website. This will be also the starting point for our communication activities. And because there's going to be this forum on this website, I think a lot of people will be interested to get in touch with you and collaborate, ask questions, and get your feedback. And as an example, I have to mention that already last week, we got an email from a researcher in the UK who is working on a paper on life cycle assessment during the construction design process. And he had very concrete questions that we couldn't just reply on our own. We don't have that many examples, and I think the depth in knowledge in this particular question. So, for instance, this person could post a question on the forum and get feedback from one of you or the contact of a person you know who could help. This is just an idea how this can move on from now on. We will disseminate this website we will start with using circular economy as a hook, and then the forums can give also a nice place for contacts with people who share similar concerns with you, and who also have nice pieces of work to share with you, get your feedback, and so on and so forth. So good luck with that, and thanks a lot also from my side for all your contributions.